Hey guys, Jonas here. You know, it's funny. We navigate life dodging potholes, bad coffee, and awkward conversations, but what about legal pitfalls? Did you know that thousands of Ethiopians lose money or face legal issues because of simple mistakes? It's true, we get caught slipping on legal banana peels every day. So, I thought, why not shed some light on these legal landmines? It's like they say, ignorance of the law is no excuse, unless you're a tourist who accidentally joined a political protest thinking it was a flash mob. Then maybe, just maybe, you get a pass. But for the rest of us, it's time to get informed. Today I'll share 5 of the most common legal mistakes people in Ethiopia make, and more importantly, how you can avoid them. Let's get started. Alright, mistake number 1. Signing contracts without reading them. I know, contracts are about as exciting as watching paint dry. They're long, they're wordy, and they're full of legal jargon that makes your head spin. But here's the thing, my friends, contracts are legally binding agreements. They're not suggestions, they're not friendly recommendations, they're the law. And if you sign one without understanding what you're agreeing to, well, you might as well hand over your hard-earned burr to a stranger in a balaclava. Think of it like this. You wouldn't buy a car without checking under the hood, right? You wouldn't marry someone after just reading their dating profile, would you? Okay, bad example, people do that all the time, but the point is, contracts are serious business. They can contain hidden fees, sneaky clauses, and terms that make you go, wait, what? For example, that gym membership you signed. Yeah, it might say no cancellation fees, but hidden in the fine print is a clause that says you owe them your firstborn child if you quit before your contract ends. Okay, maybe not your firstborn, but you get the idea. Always, and I mean always, review contracts with a lawyer before signing. Trust me, your bank account will thank you. Next up, we're talking about land ownership. Now, Ethiopia's land tenure system, let's just say, it's a bit complicated. It's like trying to understand the rules of cricket. You think you've got it, and then someone bowls a googly, and you're completely lost. The bottom line is, buying land in Ethiopia without proper verification is like playing roulette with your life savings. You might get lucky, or you might end up in a legal battle that lasts longer than a Game of Thrones season. See, in Ethiopia, land ownership is a bit of a gray area. There are historical claims, customary rights, and government allocations all swirling around like a land-based tornado, and if you're not careful, you could end up buying land that someone else has a claim to. So, what's the solution? Verification, my friends, verification. Before you hand over any money, head down to the land office and make sure the seller actually owns the land they're selling. Get everything in writing, and if something seems fishy, walk away. Remember, it's better to be safe than sorry, especially when it comes to your hard-earned burr and a place to call your own. Alright, let's talk about taxes. I know it's about as exciting as a root canal, but here's the thing, taxes are important. They pay for roads, schools, hospitals, all the good stuff that keeps a country running. Now, in Ethiopia, starting a business is a big deal. It's a sign of hustle, of ambition, of I'm going to make my own destiny. But here's where people trip up. They forget about the taxman. See, registering your business, getting your tax ID, filing your returns on time, these aren't just suggestions, they're the law. And if you ignore them, well, let's just say the taxman has a way of finding you. It's like that old saying, you can run, but you can't hide. Especially not from the Ethiopian Revenue Authority. Those guys are like the tax-collecting ninjas. Silent, stealthy, and they always get their man or woman. So, what's the solution? Simple, consult with a tax professional. They'll help you navigate the ins and outs of the Ethiopian tax system, make sure you're compliant with all the regulations, and most importantly, keep you on the right side of the law. Trust me, it's worth the investment. Okay, let's talk about inheritance. It's not the most cheerful topic, I know, but it's important. See, when someone passes away in Ethiopia, their property, land, money, even their prize-winning goats gets passed down to their heirs. Sounds simple, right? Well, not always. You see, without a legally binding will, things can get messy. Family feuds erupt, distant relatives crawl out of the woodwork, and suddenly everyone's an expert in ancient Ethiopian inheritance laws. It's like a scene out of a soap opera, except instead of dramatic music and overacting, there's legal paperwork and potential court battles. Not exactly the kind of legacy most people want to leave behind. So how do you avoid this inheritance headache? Again, it's all about being proactive. Sit down with a lawyer and draft a will. Clearly state who gets what, make sure it's properly witnessed and notarized, and bam, you've just saved your family a whole lot of potential drama. Plus, you get to decide who gets your lucky coffee mug. Always a bonus. Alright, last but not least, let's talk about your rights when arrested. Now, I know what you're thinking, Jonas, I'm a law-abiding citizen, I'm never going to get arrested, and I hope you're right. But here's the thing, life is unpredictable. You could be in the wrong place, at the wrong time, you could be mistakenly identified, you could even be framed by your jealous neighbor for borrowing their lawnmower and accidentally running over their prize-winning roses. Whatever the reason, if you ever find yourself facing the long arm of the law, it's crucial to know your rights. And in Ethiopia, just like in many other countries, you have the right to remain silent. Don't say anything, don't sign anything, until you've spoken to a lawyer. Think of it like this. Anything you say can and will be used against you in a court of law. So, unless you want your words twisted more than a pretzel at a children's party, zip it. And speaking of lawyers, you have the right to legal representation. A good lawyer will fight for your rights, ensure you're treated fairly, and navigate the complexities of the Ethiopian legal system on your behalf. Remember, knowledge is power, and knowing your rights is the best defense you have. So there you have it, folks. 5 common legal mistakes to avoid in Ethiopia. From signing contracts without reading them to navigating the land of inheritance, we've covered it all. Remember, ignorance of the law is no excuse unless you're a mime, then maybe you get a pass. Which of these mistakes surprised you the most? Let me know in the comments. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to my channel for more legal tips, and share this video with your friends, family, neighbors. Basically, anyone who breathes oxygen and lives in Ethiopia. Stay safe, stay legal, and I'll catch you in the next one.